Blaze, my top new metal albums of all time. Don't bore us, get to the chorus. So I'm just going to get to the chorus, baby. At number 20, from Westchester County, New York, it is Dry Kill Logic. This album is Hatebreed. This album is Sepultura, it's Slipknot, it's Korn, all in one mesh of hardcore new metal. It absolutely kicks your ass from start to finish. It kicked my ass. What an album. Check it out. At number 19, from Houston, Texas, and then based in Florida, and now living in Miami. You would not think this album would be in the list, but it makes it, because it's actually really well delivered. At number 19, it's Vanilla Ice with Hard to Swallow. That is hard to swallow. Would you believe this is in this album, is in this list? Yes, I do believe it, and you should. I'll tell you why, 'cause it's a fucking good new metal album. This is actually better than $3 Bill, y'all, believe it or not, by Limpbizkit. I believe all the songs are actually good. It's got great samples, it's got great groove, and it's got really good delivery. And that's one thing it does have: craftsmanship, delivery, funny lyrics, good stories, and like a tattoo folded in memory. Yeah. Stop as I blow this bomb, this place is blowing up. Anyway, drop. I'm heavy like a Holyfield blow to the home. Back up, son, no, give me room, give me room. Great album. Right, at number 18, we have a statement coming out of Fort Lauderdale, California. Nonpoint. Good album. Think Brian Fair, Out of Shadows Falls, This Victor, blowing up the system, a lot of rasp, meets Rage Against the Machine, meets Cypress Hill, meets Red Hot Chili Peppers, meets POD. This album kicks some serious new metal ass. What an album. At number 18, Nonpoint with Statement. It's got a back party vibe about it, it's really good. Check it out. Right, at number 17, we have, from Los Angeles, California, Dark Days, Dark Days, Dark Days, Dark Days by coalchamber. This was the album that got rid of the first two albums and progressed and combined them into an ultimate new metal, forged, pulsing, heavy, possessive beast. These are one of the few bands that make you felt like you were watching The Exorcist when you're listening to them, because you do feel they use that drop D sound and owned it to its core. I am not fucking lying, they spook you out. Watch coalchamber live and you'll know that. They get the crowd going. They're actually good and live, and this album has a lot of great songs from start to finish. Not amazing, but good for new metal. At new metal, you couldn't fuck with this album, right? It's vastly underrated. Dark Days was coalchamber's finest album. It's dark, baby. Okay, at number 16, from London, with players coming from Spain, Italy, and Gibraltar, Spain, Italy, and Ireland, and London. Available in all colours. It's actually only available in one, but 1 Minute Silence. Yes, it's got a singer who has an electrifying flow. They have a gang mentality. They were authentic. It's got fantastically well-crafted, political, charging, Biohazard meets Slayer rock, and it also has the groove of Rage Against the Machine. So you've got to check this album out. At number 16, 1 Minute Silence, available in all colours. Fucking good album. Right, at number 15, we have a gift coming out of Michigan. Taproot. I've seen these back with Deftones. I've seen a lot of these bands I'm talking about. This was a quality album when it came out. It mixed Deftones with a little bit of industrial, slightly had the synth, a little just different ambience to it. Also had some of the Linkin Park with a bit of post-grunge, an electrifying vocal in Steve Richards, good bass, good hooks, had just the scatter nu metal vibes as well. But The Gift is a really, 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 really fucking good album by Taproot. It's not as good as people think, but it's good for nu metal, if you know what I mean. But it's better than all the other sucky nu metal bands like Kitty and the Union Underground. It's one of the more polished nu metal albums. Has great warming sound and really good hooks and good flow and just great vocals and good layers to it. So a really good album, The Gift by Taproot. Which takes us to number 14 from Dallas, Texas. Let the party hit the flow. Sinner by Drowning Pool. Vastly underrated, a really good nu metal album. It has religious connotations in it, but it also has good party metal. It doesn't take itself too seriously. It just slams fucking hard like a nu metal album should. And it does have the great, great, great infectious guitar riffs. Really sparse playing by CJ Pierce. I love the guitar work on this. I like the hooks, I like the songs, I like the mantras. It's fist pumping, it's rocking, it parties, it kicks ass, and it even has all the nu metal idiosyncrasies, but it works. It absolutely kicks serious ass, this album. Sinner by Drowning Pool, and R.I.P. rest in peace Dave Williams. Great vocalist, great nu metal screamer, stroke singer. It slams. Okay, at number 13 we have The Burning Red by Machine Head. An album that probably don't want to be there, or a band that don't want to be in the list, but you're in there because your album was nu metal, and who gave a shit? I thought it was good. Forget all the diehard Machine Head fans going, no, is it? Listen, it's still a good nu metal album, if not one of the best. That's why it's in the Hughesy Plays list. Great nu metal album from this day. Even Desire to Fire, it has the nu metal vibes, but it's just crafted well with good songs. It works, it's authentic, and it just flows from start to finish, and it has really good fucking songs. Well played. Dave McLean and Harry Luster make this a great nu metal album, not only for the drumming but for the melodies. Harry, get off his back. He delivered good melodies for a nu metal album. What a nu metal album, and one of Machine Head's better albums that they just won't admit to because it's nu metal, but it worked for 99. It might not work for the Machine Head fans, but it worked for nu metal fans. I think it's a really good album. That's my opinion. It's one of the best. At number 13, The Burning Red. At number 12, from Peoria, Illinois, it's LD50 by Mudflain. My favourite song on this album being Death Blooms and Nothing to Gain. Not inside, not you touch what you wash away that day. It's my life. Great album. Really raw, raspy vocals, mixing Tool with the Karl and the nu metal. And it has Nirvana in there as well. It's just well orchestrated, fantastically played, got great instrumentals, and it just rocks. It rocks, but it also has intricate parts which make you think and a little deeper. And math metal's just a lazy way of saying we don't have a title for it, so we'll call it math metal because of these, like, I don't know, they could call it scientific metal. I don't know, with particles or whatever. I don't know, it's a good album. It's a really good nu metal album. Really good, in fact. Well played, great bass, great guitar, great vocals, great nu metal songing, dig, like the bodies of this, basically. And it's just a really well crafted nu metal beast. At number 10. No, at number, 11. Mushroomhead with 13. At number 11, Mushroomhead with 13. It gets on the list because it's killer from start to finish. Great synchronised vocals, great crossovers, rap, rock. Sun Doesn't Rise was an excellent riffage. It was really good. It had really good mantras. Some kind of evidence, some kind of reason. It's Faith No More, but it's also grunge, but it's also nu metal. It's an amazing nu metal album with great synchronization, great layers to it, excellently produced, fantastic samples, and it just rocks from start to finish. It's got great cinematics in it as well with the keyboards. Killer album. Check this out. If you don't, you suck. For nu metal. Nu Metal Beast at number 11. 13 by Mushroom Head. At number 10, it's Limpbizkit, baby! Coming from, Mushroom Head are from Cleveland, Ohio. I forgot it. Anyway, where you at? Jacksonville. Limpbizkit, Jacksonville, Florida. Some say they're from Edmonton, Florida, but hey, who cares? We know on Wikipedia it says Jacksonville, so we will go with that. This is the good, the bad, and the ugly of nu metal. It's jukebox nu metal, it's cartoonish, it's comedy, it's fun, it's everything that you loved about nu metal but also hated and partied. But this album absolutely typifies everything that was new and commercial and funky and groovy, and also usually spiced about nu metal, but you just had to sort of like. It's big, it's colossal, it rocks your fucking socks off and blows through the speakers from the opening intro to Hot Dog. Ladies and gentlemen! And the fucked up! And every crowd over every festival was going absolutely apeshit, much to the dismay of many promoters and organisations. But hey, what can you do when an album kicks this much ass? All the songs are good, poppy, rocky, catchy, hooky, daft, silly, exuberant. What a nu metal album. At number 10, Chocolate Starfish and Hot Dog Flavoured Water. Okay, at number 9 is an album that you would not think would get in this list, but it does, because of all the albums in this list, this is the most sincere in terms of trials and tribulation lyrics. It knows what it is, it's not trying to be anyone else. The singer Chris Voltz is fantastic. It means something. It's like a mix between Stained, Mudflain, Tool, but it's so simple, but it works because it's so earnest and sincere, and it's not trying to be like it has the hooks, but it doesn't seem contrived in any way. And every song is really good and strong, and it has a fantastic vocal delivery by Chris Voltz from Louisville, Kentucky. Flaw with Through the Eyes. You have to check this album out. If you've not heard it, check it out, because to me it's one of the most honest of the nu metal albums. It's just a good rock album, but it has all the nu metal elements. However, this album kicks the shit out of a lot of them. It means it's not trying to be cool. It's coming from a real place, and I really like this album. It's flawless, but it's a really good fucking album. Check it out. At number 9. At number 8, Industrial's Finest, coming out of Minneapolis, Minnesota. Yeah, I got it right. It's hard to pronounce. American Head Charge. Again, real, authentic, gritty. Oh, the War of Art. This album kicks ass. It grooves, it rocks, it's metal in abundance. It's fucking phenomenal. What an album. It's got everything you need in a nu metal album. It's got aggression, real aggression, like genuine aggression, great synth sound, great industrial sound, great vocals from Chad Heacock, Faith No More, with Rammstein at times as well. Brilliant album. The War of Art, American Head Charge. This is a killer record. At number 8. At number 7 is the Deftones with Adrenaline. It's got a garage vibe about it. It's also underproduced, but that works for this album. Very zephyr, laid back, but heavy at the same time, with a scream sincere. Definitely not a trying album, just really good. Every song good. Not overproduced, underproduced. Even the songs that suck are still good, not as good as others, but it's not about it being as good as all the other albums they did. It's just it's one of the nu metal blueprints, the one that broke it through. And Bored, Sick Root, 7 words. They have really good chants and they have really good guitar parts. Adrenaline, is a Deftones album. It's the one that paved the way. Board is fantastic. Chino Marino's voice is amazing. Check this album out. At number 7. At number 6, Papa Roach with Infest. Jacoby Shaddix. The delivery on this is fantastic. The album's short and sweet. It just carries you through straight away. It's absolutely adrenaline pumping. It's so energetic. It's so vibrant for its time. It really just sent you there. It's like being in a car chase, like you're just going for it all on a skateboard. What an album Infest is from start to finish. It has the sort of gimmicky lyrics, the cheesy, corny stuff. But my life into pieces, this is mine. All that, but, you know, dead cell, but with no soul. Great lyrics for, like, sort of youth to chant to. And just a good hard rock stroke new metal album with Iron Maiden riffage and Korn and POD intensity and groove. And it just struck you with choruses, and it's fun as well. What an album. Infest, Papa Roach at 6. At number 5, from Chicago, Illinois, it's Disturbed. Think Static X with Jamaican delivery vocals flowing. This rat-a-scatter vocal mantra style I've never heard before, no one had. With powerful industrial grooves, excellent production, pounding beats, and just a cult-like mantras, and really weird sound for its time, but rocking, laser sharp riffing, really metallic riffs in there, and great groove. At number 5, it's The Sickness by Disturbed. This album came out and just did something a little different with nu metal, what we'd not heard before, with the vocal delivery from Dave Draymond. The guitar playing's great, the drum beats are absolutely airtight and fucking killer. The bass, everything about them was just airtight and ready to get, like, basically, it was preacher-like, but it was also fun. Yes, it was daft as well with some of the lyrics, but the mantras and the vocal guttural style and the wah and all that. Get into me! That sound really yeah. And stupefied. This is from the mind of one sick kid and can't tell the difference and get stupefied. Great, sick head. Oh, yeah. The lyrics are different, weird. The timing structures are rhythmic. It's really rhythmic. That's why this album rocks. Right, Disturbed, The Sickness. At number 4, we have Linkin Park with Hybrid Theory. The collaborations on this album, the crossovers, it's synchronised, the timing, the pop, the melody, the beats, the samples. Hybrid Theory by Linkin Park really did kick ass. It was a breath of fresh air. It was different. It may seem passé now, but then it just mixed everything into a production, and as marketable as that sounds, it worked. It took nu metal to its greatest heights. Linkin Park with Hybrid Theory. The vocals are different. The raps are rapping about philosophies and sun and skies, and it's less. Some of it's like seems like go away and all that, but the timing of it, the build up, the crossovers, the rap with the singing, and it just worked. It was slick as fuck. Hybrid Theory is at number 4. So at number 3, we have, from Edmonton, California, and also Little Armenia, System of a Down, self-titled. You can see that there. This is too good to be a nu metal top 3. It should be in its own rock, because really it mixes a lot of the nu metal and does it better, but it also has other elements. It's like all the albums previous, but it's completely different. This is a electrifying debut of nu metal madness. It has all the nu metal, but it's just cool enough not to be it as well. It's just different enough and unpretentious enough not to be nu metal, because the riffs were cartoonish, the vocals were operatic, the guitarists were metallic and Slayer but cartoon, the drums were sort of folky but flamenco at the same time, and the bass was really different. and the chants were so said more than what Rage Against the Machine and like say Limp Bizkit ever did, or they just took it to new heights, and it has punk elements, very raw MC5 in there as well. It has metal, it has jazz licks, Sabbath as well. System of a Down, a debut album of all debut new metal albums. This album is one of the best new metal albums of all time. But it's too good to be new metal as well, if you know what I mean. But it has to make the list because it does have new metal elements. They were new metal on this, but they were also so much more. At number 2, and 1, I'm not going to fuck about. Korn. It's the innovator. It's the one that started it. Such different vocals, so dark, so personal, so eerie, so groovy, so funky, so dense, the drop D, so innovative. All the songs are really dark and good and groovy and catchy, and Shoots and Ladders is the highlight of that with Faggot. Now, new metal albums, I wouldn't say it's the best though, just because, but it is one of, it's second in my list. Doesn't make first for the reason of this was the one that innovated and started, but this wasn't the game changer for me. The game changer was the album that's going to go at number 1, which you've just seen. This album was the start to new metal, where we first heard personal demons really being took with metal. It was never that personal, and nursery rhymes, it's so innovative, and it's so good, and it's so raw. And that's why Korn is at number 2, one of the best new metal albums of all time. The innovator, the one that started it all, really. With Blind, Are You Ready? The production is so down-tuned, so deep. A fantastic new metal album, which takes me to number 1. And there will never be a better new metal album as Slipknot from Des Moines, Iowa. Oh, I'm sorry, Connor from Bakersfield, California. From Des Moines, Iowa, it's the 9-piece. It's the one that basically changed new metal and took it to its most intense. This was the new metal album what took it to its most feared and intense in terms of the heaviness, in terms of how far new metal could go in terms of being energetic and real and having proper mantras and proper hooks and proper infection, and just mixing everything in from Korn to Slayer to even having metallic vibes to all of that to Sepultura with the riffs down now, the dark riffs, the Roots style riffs. They mix all of that, and they just had this Korn with Soulfly, Sepultura vibe. But then they had grunge elements with samples as well and breakbeats. And Slipknot, the debut album, will never be topped in terms of new metal. This was the album that took new metal to its most intense. People screamed on records, nobody did it in this way. Korn almost did it. Slipknot took the energy to another 200 levels and they killed it. This album just surpasses Korn. The hard, this is the innovator, this is the game changer. That's the way I look at it. I have to put Slipknot ahead. I have to put them ahead of Korn because this album took it to its greatest heavy heights. This took new metal to its heaviest, its most groovy, its scatterdash vocals, its mantras. You had proper mantras to sing now, and fucking hell, fuck this world, fuck it. You really had some lyrics that weren't just personal, but they were really getting to the core, so they were taking the Jonathan Davis issues the father issues, but taking the fatherly lyrics about childhood, but these were taking it to more, we are fucked up, we are bored, and we are going to do something, and you will not tell us how we are going to live our life. And it was more of a mantra. It was more possessed. It was more heavier, and even though people may laugh and like death metal fans and say this isn't heavy, for nu metal this was at the time. Eyeless, sick. Even the drumming was different. It wasn't polished. It had the Korn style drumming, but the double, it was just super groovy, super easy to rock to, but also intense at the same time. Get it, California. And then it had the big screen. It had everything in nu metal that you could want. It just combined the lot. All the albums you've heard here, and it even had melodies, believe it or not, with even Liberate, Prosthetics, Diluted, Purity, You Were Here. It had post-grunge. It had everything. Screams, Scissors, Diluted, No Life, Me Inside, I don't promise again, you keep mocking me. But even from Sick onwards, Enemy, show me what you want to be, I can handle anything. It was mantras. Korn had more eeriness, but Slipknot took it to different levels. It was more in your fucking face. It was more of a roller coaster, and it was just more badass as far as nu metal album goes. The most badass nu metal of all, and the best, because it's the most, in terms of like groove as well. People forget that, how tight these were with groove and bass and drums with Joe Jordison, and how fast it was, and how focused it sounded as well. The greatest nu metal album of all time is Slipknot at number 1. That's my top 20. I hope you enjoyed it, guys. I try not to go on for too long, but we got there in the end. Peace. Nu metal was a genre that I loved, and you also hated. I don't know why it got hated so much, because I think it just got over manufactured and over. Everyone were doing it. For every Korn and Slipknot and System of a Down was a Kitty and a Union Underground, and there were bands that sucked. Seven Dust were more hard rock. They were bits of nu metal, but there were bands like Ultra Spank and Dope and Slaves on Dope that pretty much sucked ass, that weren't that good, and they just rided on the wave of this. The genuine winners of my top 20 has to go to Slipknot, and you know why, because it was just realer than all of the other albums. And it came in the sound, and the guitar parts are really fucking good and heavy as well, and it just got you moving more, and it was just better. Right, I hope you enjoyed my nu metal list, guys. What did you think of nu metal? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Are you glad it's gone? Or is there a renaissance with bands like Cane Hill and bands like that are coming out now, and bands are trying to be more nu metal? Is the genre coming back? I'd like to add a good point on the fact that 90s fashion is definitely coming back more now, because we're only listening to that sort of music. Now in the 90s, the fashion was a sort of, and the music was an answer to each other. The fashion was an answer to the music was an answer to the fashion, but now there's not much fashion, it's all technology. So we have to go back, because you're reacting to the times and the culture. The culture now is social media, so now you have to go back to culture. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed my video. It's 30 minutes, maybe too long, but that is my nu metal top 20 albums of all time. Did you agree or disagree? Let me know why, and share that fucker. I am Hughesy Plays. I'll put all my podcast links underneath. Peace.